to reclaim America's heritage as the great manufacturing nation, and we were doing that.
This is basically April, when the president rolled out his Liberation Day tariffs that were designed to boost manufacturing jobs. And what you can see is it's really been down ever since then. In fact, manufacturing employment in the United States is now at a 3.5-year low.
Yeah, it almost looks like it was the direct, verifiable, trackable cause of all these problems. And sure, the manufacturing jobs or whatever is one way to look at it, but there are a lot of ways to look at it. And it really does seem like Donald Trump has not only not achieved the gains he promised you, but all of the moves he's made have made things notably, and notice that they have been noticed, worse in just about every way. We have 9 months now since the tariffs began, and they've gotten stronger over time. And let's dive now into a little bit of what that looks like over the course of the year. So far, the economy has added 499,000 total jobs since Trump returned to office. That is slightly less than 50,000 per month. And most of those jobs were added in the first 3 months. It was very front loaded there. From May, the month after he announced his tariffs, through to last month, the last month that we have in total, there have been just 17,000 jobs per month. Several months saw net job losses, in fact. So now let's compare that to Joe Biden, a guy who was so bad in the economy that we had to throw his can out, okay? And we did. So if you discount the first 2 years, remember, we're coming out of the pandemic. They brought a lot of jobs back. Let's not count that, right? That's easy. That's unfair to count those jobs. Let's just do the harder job, the years where everybody was so angry and hated him. There, we got 2.1 million jobs per year, an average of 178,000 per month. In the difficult years, Joe Biden did 10 times the jobs per month on average. And if you don't take off the first 2 years, it was on average 336,000 jobs per month. And so the tariffs were supposed to boost jobs. It seems like it slit its throat. And it's not just that, obviously there's also inflation. That was the big thing of the last election. So in Biden's last year in office, when we were talking constantly about inflation on grocery items was 1.8%. It's now 3.1%. It is almost double what it was under a time when it was so bad that we had to end the Biden presidency. By the way, farmer bankruptcies are way up. About 181 farmers filed for bankruptcy protection in the first half of the year. 60% increase from 2024, the highest 6-month reading since 2020. And we know that, a lot of the problems are that we're paying more for groceries because of the tariffs of the things we're buying elsewhere, but the farmers are being hurt because they can't sell anything anywhere because Donald Trump sold us the fantasy that he would impose tariffs on everyone else and they wouldn't dare to do the same to us. But that obviously was never the case, and it wasn't the case. And so a lot of countries, especially China, aren't buying our agricultural products anymore. And that's a lot of farmers who are now out. They've got nothing thanks to Donald Trump's policies. And so, as always, this is bad in terms of the numbers, but it's worse in terms of the causality. Because it is one thing to look at the last 2 years of the Biden presidency and say, he's not doing enough, go do something. Trump's problem is what he's doing. He's choosing to make the situation worse in all of these ways. And he doesn't seem to have really learned that lesson yet. Brett, what do you think?
Trump's, he's eliminated a lot of jobs personally, specifically the people responsible for reporting on how well the jobs numbers are. But he is increased manufacturing consent for his attacks in Venezuela and his attack on Nigeria, which we were all upset about the situation in Nigeria. We were all pretty upset. I'm pretty sure it's Nigeria. That I was that mad about it that I'm pretty sure it was Nigeria. And then also he's manufacturing all kinds of boogeymen that are here to take our jobs and do horrible things to us. Unfortunately, those things he manufactured were out of thin air, required no natural resources, and added absolutely no value to the economy. That's the problem. Why? Because he's full of hot air. He's bad. Like, he literally is throwing out the people who are responsible for telling us whether things are good or bad. And that's horrible. And in the long term, the fundamentals for the American dominance of the global market are not that great. The one fundamental that we have control over is that we're the world's reserve currency. And we have a big economy of people who buy stuff. That's what we're about. Everything else China's got, right? China's got rare earth minerals in a world where, quote, AI is the future. And there's a global RAM shortage, and there's a global, they have control over all the lithium, and they're doing it in ways that are different from how America does it, which is like, let's bomb boats in Venezuela so we can, quote, get all the oil. As China's like, yo, Congo, you need a road?
Yeah. And
we'll help you get all that out of there, but we also won't kill you. We'll just kind of slave labor you to death, which is different than a hostile takeover.
But that is woke and bad, and so we need to cut USAID. We used to do that stuff. We would use our soft power. We'd help with infrastructure. We have massively pulled out of that, creating a big void for countries like China to flow into. It is stupid, stupid, stupid.